Hello, it's Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter here. I've been out in my local high street today and I've been able to go to two charity shops that are open, and I've bought some lovely Laura Ashley linens. I'm going to share them with you in this video. I bought other cotton shirts as well, batik, linen and botanical print. I was really delighted. And I'll also talk you through the reasons why I bought them, because that'll be interesting for what to look for when you're out shopping in your charity shops. This is the first of my Laura Ashley linen dresses, and it's a lovely spring colour on a cream background. Look at the lilacs, the lemons, the vanilla, the mauves in this. This will mix in with a lot of colours that I've already got. Laura Ashley, there's binding around the neck. Unfortunately, there's a very cheap acetate lining in it, and I'm quite surprised that Laura Ashley have done that. I would have expected cotton, but there is a side zip. Sometimes there are pockets in Laura Ashley fabric, and the pockets are well worth preserving, but there isn't in this. It's actually quite a large print, so when I cut it up for patchwork, I will probably look at what part of it do I want. So if I look at this section, it'll be complementary colours. If I look at this section, it will be the monochromatic, I think the word is I'm looking for. Now on the back, there is a dart here. When you're looking at darts in clothes, it depends on whether the fabric is folded over or whether they've actually cut the fabric in the dart. This is actually, I can't tell because of the lining in this. It would be a great shame if that has been cut. And then the skirt is actually two pieces down the back. And then there's a binding on the back. So let me show you the back in full. Now you can see as you look at this, if these darts have been cut, instead of that being like a fat quarter, it gives me smaller pieces to use. But all in all, I thought this was worth the price. £9.99. Now if you're going to buy a dress that you wear, £9.99 for a linen Laura Ashley dress to wear anywhere. This is very races, isn't it? In the summer or to a wedding. Unfortunately, it won't go over my bust. Right, on to the next one. This is also a Laura Ashley linen dress. I'm going to tell you something about this one. I didn't buy this one at the time. I have a rule when I'm in the charity shop is I'll look at it. If it's not the fabric or the cut that I want, I have a rule, if in doubt, don't. Because there's plenty that I pick up and say, I'll definitely have that. And this was one of those. However, I went for a coffee and some lunch and the fabric on this stayed with me. So I went back on the basis of, if it's still there, I think I'll have that. And I don't regret now going back for this. But unlike the other one, this has a full cotton lining. So that's extra fabric from me. Now you can see that this is actually cut in 4/4 on the front. And it's likely to be cut in 4/4 on the back too. And there are darts in this. However, let me show you the fabric and the colour of it, and you'll probably see why I went back for it. Because it's this really unusual tealy turquoise and pink pasta and magenta. Maybe they're hibiscus flowers. So although the front is separated and it's cut into 4, there is a little bit of braiding that I'll reclaim. But the skirt itself, there is a slight flare on it, but actually that's all one piece of fabric. So there will be 4 pieces of that. There will be a side zip. There aren't any pockets in this. Let's look at the back. There's a very long zip on the back that separates the front, and it is separated at the waistband again with that braid. But again, so in all, there are 4 panels in this skirt, and they all flare out. So actually that's quite a lot of fabric there, and as I say, it's funny lined with white cotton, and I can use that in so many projects. Because this design and colour stayed with me, I went back for it, because I work on the principle, would I regret not getting that if I walked away from it? If I'd gone to the shop and somebody else had bought it, then so be it. I paid £8.99 for it. Now, this is an example of a dress that I went back for. The reason that I didn't buy it in the first place is it's quite well worn. It's a little bit grubby, so it really needs a good wash. And it wasn't cheap. However, the reason I went back for it was because I realised there's a lot of fabric in those frills, and it will go with a project that I'm currently doing for Project Linus. So all this needs to do is go through the washing machine on a quick wash, and it'll come up brilliantly. Partly because it was good quality in the first place. It was next. It's denim, and it's denim blue. Again, it has some braid, and it has it around the top and around the waist and around the frills. So in the braiding itself, it's worth preserving and keeping. And then these frills are really long. I think they're about 8 inches deep. Now, and it's all denim. I think it's unlined, but it was actually good quality denim in the first place. The straps are long, and I'll keep those straps exactly as they are, because if you want a project where you've got worn straps, or I might even use them and turn them over as some binding. Might be interesting, mightn't it? Actually, that would look quite nice as binding on a quilt. I'll see how much there is there when these are unknotted. And I've obviously got 4 straps there, so once I measure those, I'll consider that. Let's take a look at the back. There are no darts in the back, but there's a frill. This little frill is neither use or ornament to me, to be honest, unless I used it for postage stamp. It's cut on the bias, I think. But again, long frill on the back. And there's a lot of fabric here for me to use. Right, I'll put it through the wash first thing. There are some items of clothing that attract my attention as soon as I walk in, and this was one of them. This is a man's shirt by John Lewis, and I love the design of the print on this, but I think it was the colour I was attracted to. It's like a periwinkle blue, almost like a pale blue going into a denim colour, and it's really lovely. It was £6.99. Now that's quite a lot for a medium shade, but it's linen. Yoke, and then the fabric is folded over here. When you're looking at clothing, if they've just folded it, then there's no darts. So all of this piece here is a fat quarter. And the other thing is, that's actually got a little bit of a shaped shirt tail, so there's a tiny bit more fabric in there, although quite often I need to straighten that up. But look how nice that fabric design is. So that went on my arm very, very quickly without any hesitation. And there was no hesitation on the next two either, because this one is a shirt by Gap. It's 100% cotton and it's batik. And look, it's got the denim blues. It's got the same blue, the periwinkle blue that I've just shown you, a really dark navy, lighter shades of blue in it. And I can place that in many of my quilts. It might only be short sleeved, but actually there are quite ample sleeves. There's a pocket on the front. And again, on the back, there are no darts, there are no fold overs. That's one solid piece of fabric. And you can see on this now how far apart the fabric repeat is, which is really helpful if you're doing patchwork. I really like that. A £5.99. Now, if you were going to buy a Gap shirt, £5.99 for a large size is not much to pay. It would be if you're in the US. This would probably be a maximum of $3 in the US, not here, not at our high street prices. If, like I do, you buy fabrics to unpick them and store them in your fabric stash ready for patchwork, matching them up with others, you'll get to know what designs you've already got. And I'm certainly on the lookout for linen. Summer is the time to find that stash. And I saw a man's short sleeve shirt that was fabulous, but I've already got it. And I'm using it in the Hawaiian flying geese quilt that I'm currently making. But I hadn't seen this botanical print in these colours before, so I knew that this was coming home with me. This is by M&S and it says linen blend. Now, what does linen blend mean? I love the colours, I know I can place it. And what I do is I look at the label. When I look at the label, it's an XL, so that's extra large, good, more fabric for the money. You need to look at what is it blended with. And this is 56% flax, which is linen, and 44% viscose. The important thing is it machine washable? Is it tumble dryable? And if it answers those questions and minimum iron, then yes, it's coming home with me. If it was mixed with, they don't usually mix linen with polyester, it's usually with some light rayon. Just take a look at the washing instructions because that's important. So let's take a look at this shirt then. There are no pockets on the front. It's a very simple collar. It's M&S, so it was good quality fabric in the first place. The buttons are, again, I've got no interesting buttons today. Yoke and then one complete piece of fabric down the back. Now that is really striking. When I cut that up, it'll probably look like stripes. You won't really be able to tell that that was a botanical leaf. But I love the colourways in it. Let's see how much I paid. £6.99. All in all, I've spent quite a bit of money, but I'm really pleased with what I found. I hope this has helped you, and I hope that you enjoy your trips to your local charity shops, or if you're going further afield or on holiday, go and support the local shops there. You'll be very glad that you did, and you'll see me using them in my quilts very soon. Come back and join me for that, won't you? Bye.